Yeah. Pulling it back to the more of the competitors and prepping, one thing I've noticed is that you also train a lot of female clients too. So I'd like to understand more from you the differences between training male and female clients, really when it comes to things like, hormone regulation and all that kind of stuff. Are there key differences between training males and females, specifically like prepping for a show, cutting down?
So I would say for females, they tend to do better on when their fats are a little bit higher
Hmm.
to a certain extent. You're always going to end up in a prep where they're going to be zero, like not zero, but like very low fats. Like there's no way about it. Like the calories have got to come down from somewhere. You can't just keep the fats at a nice amount that
Yeah.
because you want the hormones to regulate. It's part of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Like your hormones are going to be fucked by the end of it. Like it's not
The
it's
body
not
doesn't
healthy.
want to get that
Yeah,
shredded. Yeah.
yeah. It's literally if you want to get to that condition, you've got to be willing to put in that. But what I will say is that with the females, yeah, they will pull down to a low amount of fats, and their hormones will be. But it's after the show, getting their hormones back into a healthy place as quickly as possible. That should be like the number one primary goal with that. Like their cycles will probably stop maybe 3-4 weeks out. It happens just when the calories are low, your body's at minimal body fat, your hormones aren't going to be processing. Where males tend to, obviously, we don't have time of the months, etc. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
like they don't. Obviously, you want to keep a little bit of fat in, but they're not going to suffer too much from having that lower fat. Obviously, that depends if they're assisted and whatnot as well.
Hmm.
That all comes into account with it. But yeah, with women and males, like you want to mainly for the females just keep a little bit more fats in just to help regulate the hormones. Men tend to be better on the higher carbs, lower fats, whereas women are obviously the opposite with more fats, less carbs.
Yeah. So
To help
then
with
in that
resistance.
in that reverse dieting phase with females, would you introduce fats maybe more quickly in the
I would get
reverse
their
diet?
calories up a little bit more quickly,
Yeah.
just because you want your body healthy.
Yeah.
Like you spent, and this is another thing as well. I was going to say, like males can probably push themselves a little bit more in a dieting phase, like for a longer period of time, where they're not going to have the repercussions of their cycles taking so long. Like they don't have cycles, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
With females, you want to be able to do it in the healthiest way, that not over diet them for too long,
Yeah.
getting them back up and running, and then obviously get your fats to a nice healthy baseline, increase the carbs from there, and just keep getting the calories up until they're feeling a bit more functional and their cycles come back with that. They're going to gain body fat. Everyone gains body fat after a diet,
Mm.
but it just depends how quickly you want your kind of health cycle to come back with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, it's obviously not super healthy for your body to do bodybuilding, but it's only a matter of weeks, really, that your body is in that super depleted starvation kind of state.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like
Mm.
most of the time, you're in a calorie surplus.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, though, even though you are in that like eating a lot more calories, you still feel bad either way from it. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you're eating so much, you're falling asleep.
Yeah.
You're eating so little, you're like, I can't sleep. You just so. I wouldn't say bodybuilding is the healthiest sport. Is there really? Like
No.
it's it's just part of it. It's just what we undertake, and we know what it's about.
Hmm.
We've been doing it for so long. It's just part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dieting to extremes, obviously getting the body fat low is gonna whack the hormones out a lot more than it would be in obviously the surplus. But like I say, you don't really start feeling it to about 6, maybe 5 weeks out, where you're absolutely on your ass with it,
Yeah.
depending how hard you've made your prep from the starting point with it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's right. And what about the training aspect of males and females? Would their typical like sets and rep structure and stuff look quite similar?
I would probably, obviously, there would be different splits.
Yeah.
And it's all person dependent as well, because where some people can train harder with lower volume, some clients can't take themselves there, so they might need a little bit more volume within those sets. So I have certain clients, like females, who would be maybe doing 1 or 2 working sets because I know how hard they train and how heavy they lift.
Yeah.
Whereas other clients not lifting as much, bit more of a fannying about in the gym. Like they need a little bit more volume in
Yeah.
that to obviously equate to kind of the intensity that the lower working sets are putting in compared to what they're doing. So I wouldn't say it's like a difference between male and female, because two males could have completely different lower end, high end volume.
Yep.
Same with females, it's all just a little bit different.
Mm.
I do find that obviously women moan a bit less than men when it comes to prepping. They just seem to
So
just get on with it. That's the thing with it.
yeah.
They just don't. Yeah, they just don't complain. They're like, "Yep, okay, I get it done. Come
Yep.
back, it's done that week." Where males are like, "Can we not
Please,
do this
can I have
this
some
week?"
more food?
Yeah, I'm feeling really hungry. I'm feeling really flat, and like,
Yeah, yeah. When it
just got to
comes
get
to
on with
that,
it.
like, what do you say? Because I feel like my mind, because I've heard similar stories, I feel like just saying you chose to do this. Like, why try and make it as easy as you can?
Yeah, I always say to them, like, when they say, "Oh, I'm getting hungry," and something like the hunger means change. Like
Yeah.
when your body gets hungry, that's when you'll see the most change within your body.
Hmm.
And I always say that to them, like, just embrace it. You'll be back in off season in what 8 weeks time. It's just relax, just enjoy the process of it, feeling hungry, because once you're back in that surplus and you're stuffing your face with food, you'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to eat anymore."
Yeah, I don't want to have a look at another meal.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's just yeah, I just say to them basically, suck it up. Or when they check in, if their training performance down, they're looking really flat, then obviously they might get a refeed, but it's not a given in each
Mm.
check-in because they moaned about it. I don't go with their emotions, how they're feeling. Like I want the best outcome for them, so I have to say to them, look, dig in, dig
Yeah.
deep, just push through it, you'll be fine. Like
Yeah.
it's just having that mentality just to stay on it.
Yeah. And when you step on stage too, like, you don't want to have any questions or doubts in your mind that you did everything that you could have done throughout that prep.
Yeah, exactly. Like as long as you've done everything to a T, you've trained as hard as you can.
Mm.
You know you're bringing your best, and there's nothing more you could do with that. But it's when people are like probably maybe cheating on their diet or
Yeah.
just not doing what they need to do, and they lose, and they're like, oh, well, they know why, but you know what I mean. It's just
Yeah. And the crazy thing with
if you're committed to bodybuilding and you're doing a show, then just follow the plan.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just dig deep, push through it. If you don't enjoy it at the end of it, don't do it again.
yeah,
Just go back to doing lifestyle.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I was going to say the crazy thing with bodybuilding too is that, especially when you're in a prep, cheating on your diet might look like getting a pre-cooked chicken versus like cooking the chicken yourself. Like it has to be so dialed in that it's just like not even comparable to any other kind of cutting or dieting down sort of phase.
Yeah, no, you have to be very, very like any like small things like someone else cooking chicken for you
Yeah,
could
yeah,
be
yeah,
in too much seasoning, too much salt. It's very like,
yeah,
okay, you know you're cooking it yourself. That's what I would say as well with like packet rice and things. I don't really tend to like using them. I'm like, get a rice cooker,
yep,
cook the rice. You know what's going into it. There's no preservatives in it. It's just freshly cooked rice there. Um, all these little things, I know that sounds like so like petty and minimal, but
yeah,
they do add up. Like, I think you're buying a chicken from someone who's cooked it for you in oil or whatnot,
yeah,
high
exactly.
fats. Packet rice obviously contains some preservatives, so it's not going to be as like don't all add up the calories over the week,
Hmm.
and like even like going a gram over on like maybe oats, etc., things like
Yep,
that. It adds up, and
yeah,
people don't realize that. Oh, it's only a gram over. Yeah, but do that 7 days a week over the month. That's another 28 grams. I
yeah.
know it's minimal, but it does stop the adaptations happening to your
Yeah,
body.
that could be the like difference of you being ready or a bit undercooked on show day.
Yeah, is literally it. Like
Mhm.
you might as well just nail everything, and then the stress is on the coach,
Mm.
not you, as to why it hasn't gone right, and that's down to them to work out. But if the client's been cheating, they haven't told the coach, and just sit there scratching their head.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.